Back once again and timeless as I am, nameless and faceless, and yet talking about current events, so this is gonna age like food bank bread. It's been months since I quit YouTube, and in that time, people have taken my awesome ideas and turned them into trash. Absolute garbage. But you know what they say, que sera, sera, que es basura, where's the syrup, where's the syrup? So I'm gonna slice and dice those trash pancakes of life with a little something I'd like to call true rubes. Detect not your boy. Less is more when it comes to names and faces. In the interest of broad appeal, you just keep getting finer. In the interest of catching up the uninitiated, if you're watching this, I call you Guffy. So Guffy, let's get into June to October 2025. Last year I said quite a bit, but the main points are this. Bigotry is so stupid one could do it against any group, including the British. In fact, if you're going to be bigoted, it might as well be towards the British. Actually, the world ought to turn mainland UK into an exile state for the worst kinds of criminals. Pedos, rapists, murderers, and billionaires. We're going with exile state because test groups got freaked out by the words open air prison. But it wasn't just about Britain. I also said Trump was too old for office. I said Israel and Palestine ought to make nice by pulling cruise liners out of the Mediterranean and using them as apartment complexes. I said China should convert U.S. trailer parks into food forests with one large building in the corner for the residents. All of these and more have been completely fucked by the current oligarchs, and I'm furious! I'm not protecting any pregnant women, though, nor am I traveling with a human blood bag, which, when you think about it, is a fun metaphor for pregnancy. I have gotten used to how lazy audiences are, though. Lazy enough to forget what I just said. So, bigotry is back in a big way, this time against all the usual targets. Black and brown people, Jewish people, and Arabs. That's right. ICE is rounding up whoever they can and sending people to work camps domestically and internationally, when really it's those violent thugs in ICE and the ones giving them orders that should be going to Britain and taking the rest of the filth with them. Because you know what's been happening in Britain? Anti-immigration rallies and attacks on synagogues, and frankly, duh! Did we expect any better from them? I certainly didn't. In fact, I told a bunch of right-wing groups and death cults that if they want to go ham, last one there is a rotten green egg. The more the island falls to shit, the faster the world has a reason to lock it down. And speaking of food and shit, Trump Term 2 is getting older than fossilized mammoth turds. I said last year that America is the land of the Hunger Games, and the Hunger Games have indeed come to roost. A month-long government shutdown has led to food stamp benefits being cut. So what should be pedophiles starving on an island is now pedophiles starving and locking up otherwise normal people. Awful. Israel and Palestine agreed to a ceasefire, so hopefully that's one step closer to pulling cruise liners out of the ocean to replace all of the buildings that got bombed or rubble. On the topic of buildings, have you heard about these data centers, folks? They say offloading tasks to machines makes one stupid, and given the behavior of billionaires, I am inclined to agree. I'm no data scientist, nor do I exactly know what being the Holy Ghost is supposed to entail. Most of the prophecies I fulfill are by accident. However, with my limited data knowledge, I've gathered a few things about what the people want. People want walkable cities. People want nature close by. People want fast internet, community, jobs, leisure, and a space to call their own. All this and more can be had. What are the big reasons people hate data centers, specifically for AI? They take up too much water. They need too much energy. They take up too much land. They don't produce a product that is profitable. Here's how we give everyone what they want. Hybrid centers for humans and server racks. It's simple, really. Plop down 4 buildings that each house about 1,000 to 2,000 people in 3 to 4 bedroom apartments. Model these buildings after casinos in Vegas. That means in the towers, you have living spaces. In the bottom, you have essentially what is a shopping mall. Tack on a grocery store, a theater, and a clinic, and you are in fucking business. Now, underneath said building, you can put floor after floor of server racks, and you only need a small security staff to look after them. The water in data centers is used for cooling, and people pay for hot water. Symbiosis. Showers are great. Hand washing. I don't know what else people use hot water for. I like it when I'm cooking noodles. It's already partially heated. The bedrock is the limit. 5 floors of servers, 10 floors of servers, for the insane 11 floors of servers, or 66.6 floors of servers, but what the hell does that even mean? The point being, if you look at how the United States farmland is gridded out, it becomes pretty obvious where to put one of these bad boys, and once you have one, just build the next one in the next empty 4 corners. The rest of the land remains farmland. Slap up some greenhouses, maybe some orchards, turn it into a food forest, roam around on 2 legs, e-bikes, or golf carts. Everybody in the building has plenty of room to run around there. Everything they need is within walking distance in the building, and compute is silently humming along in the basement. Connect with trains. Instead of this, billionaires are building data centers which nobody can stay in, paving giant parking lots by them and modeling them off Amazon warehouses. While they do this, they're building bunkers for themselves in preparation for societal collapse. So what could be a unified future for humans, machines, and animals is instead ruining farmland, raising electricity bills, taking water, and elsewhere setting up inhospitable biodomes underground. They literally got the shit flip-flopped. They're putting the server racks above ground and humans underneath. They are that fucking stupid. All of the data in the world would not help these people. I'm pretty sure more than targeted ads, they want to make personalized torture chambers. The data harvesting honestly seems more for how to tighten the screws than it does how to make anyone happy. Even themselves. Look, they've created a world where a homeless man can out-techno-feudalism them. At least I'd be getting rent money. So do you see why I say we need an exile state for these shitheads? We can do these ideas without them. There are so many smart and talented people out there. It shouldn't be up to such a small few to decide who is heard. Once we get the lockdown figured out, I guarantee other problems will be easier to solve. Mainly because sadistic pedo-billionaires won't be in the way. In the meantime, though, feel free to ignore me or signal boost me. I have no faith in things getting better because, again, it seems like people love Hell Planet. However, I keep waking up and somehow I ended up with my car back and $100 of smokes money, so this video came out. I'm down to appear on podcasts or speaking events. I just can't leave Colorado till next July. I do have a Patreon, but I'd prefer you tell the richest person you know to tell the richest person they know about me so they can give me a lump sum to get me back in financial good graces. Y'all missed your chance for Hanson and Hanson, and I don't have a good way to end this, so meth sucks and so does Britain. I'll leave you with no words from Whittle Spooky, as it is October 2025 when this comes out. Take it away!